This is the new Honda HR-V, and it's a little bit like the Harry Potter character Neville Longbottom, because the old version was a little bit kind of awkward looking and weird, whereas this has now developed into a handsome looking thing. Now in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this car. I'm going to talk you around the exterior, the interior, I'm going to see how practical it is, I'm going to take it for a drive, and of course I'm going to launch it to see how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour, because that really matters to Honda HR-V bars. Anyway, I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Car Wow. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon. That way you won't miss a single upload. Buy, sell, Car Wow. Let's start this video by talking about the design of the new HR-V. I like the back end. It's nice, quite swoopy and sporty. Cool looking light bar. Other than that, it's simple. It's good. Alloy wheel sizes, 18 inches as standard, no other sizes available, but they are large enough. Now if you go for the range stopping version, you get a contrasting roof and door mirrors, but you don't need them. I like it the way it is. Here at the front, this headlight design and this bit here sort of is a little bit Mazda-y, and I mean that in a good way. Favourite bit though is the grille design. Rather than having silver trim or black trim, they've done it body coloured and it just looks smart. I really like the look of this car actually. The starting price of the HR-V is £28,000. However, at the moment you can save an average of around £1,100 off one through Car Wow. So if you want to see the latest offers on all the latest cars, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below to go to Car Wow. Alternatively, if you want to do that at a later date, just simply Google "Wow Me Car Wow" and we will wow you. Honda's designers are doing a great job here on the inside of the HR-V as well. Really like the design of the dash. Materials are pretty nice here in the front as well. It's all very logically laid out. I like the fact they haven't put everything through the touchscreen, so you can still access the heater controls quickly using these dials, but the touchscreen itself is quite easy to use. Unlike Honda systems of the past, and you've got Apple CarPlay, which is wireless, and Android Auto, which is wired. You've got a part digital driver's display. I don't know why they didn't just make it all digital and have a digital speedo as well as the digital other bits and pieces that you got, and you can cycle through the different menus on that screen over on the left, which is okay. Driving position is generally pretty good with a decent amount of adjustment in it, and yes, you can raise the seat up quite high if you want to as well, or get it low enough. I like this feature that you get with Japanese cars. Quick release for the seat back, so you can just go into a sleeping position like that, or get it exactly where you want it. I don't know why European cars have to have that annoying ratchet thing. It's pointless. In terms of practicality, we've got some decent storage under here. There's some big cup holders here which will hold a flask. There's some more storage under here with a 12-volt socket. You've got a place for your mobile phone there and 2 USB ports there. The glove box is a decent size, and the big door bins there as well, which is good. Here in the back of the HR-V, it's a tale of two halves. So the good is that knee room, there's loads of it. Foot room, loads of space, you can really stretch out. The seats themselves are comfortable. Also, you've got a pretty much flat floor, so there's lots of foot space, even for the middle seat passenger, which brings you on to the things that aren't so good about the back seats. This central seat is so narrow and uncomfortable to sit on. And then there's the headroom. I'm sitting up straight, I'm like 5'10" and a bit, and I've got that much space above my head, which isn't loads for this type of vehicle. In fact, a Nissan Qashqai feels roomier in the back seats. And if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below. It's not awful though, and there are some redeeming features like big pocket backs there, look, with a special compartment to keep your mobile phone in there, and then you've got 2 USBs there and a little place to put your phone while it's charging if you want to leave it. But then things get bad again. For instance, look, there is no through loading. This is all floppy and not great, and cup holders, yeah, they're okay, I guess. You've got easy access ISOFIX anchor points there though, which is good. What's not so good though is that children will find it a bit claustrophobic here in the back, because the windows are quite narrow, and you know, if you want to take them down, they don't go all the way down, so yeah, it's not ideal, though I guess the kids will just be on their mobile devices anyway, won't they? Let's move on to the boot of the HR-V. God, that takes ages, come on. Right, so it's quite a useful square shape. There's not much of a load lip to lift stuff over. Look, it's slide that in and out quite easily, which is good. Oh, look, you get this special rubberized mat, which is handy if you have dirty pets that you carry in your boot, and they won't mess up. Oh, let me get this out if I can. They won't mess up your carpet. Now the boot capacity itself, actually when you look at the numbers, isn't that great. So you've got 320 litres of space. By comparison, a Peugeot 2008 has 435 litres of space. You have about 20 litres of that space. This storage could be under here, but if you have the range shopping version of this car, you then get a subwoofer that goes in there and it reduces your boot capacity to 304 litres of space. And interestingly, the boot capacity of a Peugeot 208 is 311 litres. This isn't so bad though. Look, you can fold the seats down quite easily, and then you get a completely flat floor, which is handy when you're sliding things in and out like that. In terms of features in the boot, there aren't much. There's a couple of tie down points there and a couple of hooks, but there's no 12-volt socket. I do like a 12-volt socket in the boot of a car, because then you can plug in an electric vacuum and then vacuum out bits and pieces. Anyway, that brings us to 5 annoying things about this Honda HR-V. The brakes can make quite a bit of noise when you're either in stop-start traffic or manoeuvring. Have a listen to this. What's all that about? Tell you what I hate, a blooming roof-mounted rear seatbelt. Look, it's just, why can't this mount it there like other manufacturers do? The central armrest is pretty rubbish if you're the driver, because neither does it extend, nor does it like stick up, so you can't actually hold the wheel properly and rest your elbow on it. So you have to drive like that. That's actually how my mum drives, but it's not a very good way to drive. I don't know what it is with Hondas, but look, even when the car's unlocked, the fuel filler cap isn't. You actually have to pull a lever. So go in here, bear with me, pull this. Oh, it's just an unnecessary faff. I don't know why they can't have auto release like you get on European made cars. For some reason there are no rear door bins. Brilliant. You do have a little cup holder there, but it's not particularly large nor deep. You can just about hold a small bottle. But there is a sign there that says no open top drinks. You know, you can have just an open top drink in other cup holders in this car, but not here. Reason being that the liquid might spill, then go into that switch and knacker it. However, that brings me on to 5 cool things about the Honda HR-V. Have you ever given a lift to an annoying passenger who wants the cabin heated quickly, but they don't like the blower, like blowing in their face? Oh no, look, I don't like the air right in my face. Well, Honda has a solution. It's this diffuse air system. So you turn this dial and look, it's not blowing in their face anymore. Instead, it's going down the side of their heads like that. Still heating the cabin quickly, but not in an annoying way. Standard equipment is very good. All models get auto cruise control, so it'll keep you a safe distance from the car in front using radar, and you've got auto steer to keep you in lane as well. Plus, there's parking sensors as standard at the front and the rear, and a reversing camera. Look, there, all there. Nice. I quite like Honda's solution for the load cover for the HR-V because, look, here it is. It's kind of clever. Right, see if I'm clever enough to figure out how it goes on. Never done this before. Can an idiot do it easily? Yes, an idiot definitely can. Look, there we go. Lovely jubbly. See, I'm a total idiot. It's operated that way. Go away now. Want to use your car as a tunnel? Well, look at this. Honda's magic seats allow you to lift at the bases and lock them in place, so then you can walk through your car, because it's really, really essential for most buyers. You know how in the winter your windscreen wiper blades get stuck to the windscreen with frost? Well, not in this car, because look, there's some special heater elements there. So you press a button in the cabin and it'll actually heat those elements up, and it'll free your wiper blades from Jack Frost's fingers. Now let's talk about the engine and gearbox combinations, of which there are so many with the Honda HR-V. It's so confusing. Actually, it's not, it's dead easy. There is only one choice. It's a 1.5 litre petrol engine mated to 2 electric motors, though both the electric motors and the petrol engine all work together to drive the front wheels only. This is not 4-wheel drive, and they operate through a CVT automatic gearbox. Now the output of the system is 130 horsepower, and we'll see exactly how quick that means this car is when I launch it a little bit later on to time it from 0 to 60 miles an hour. One engine, gearbox and drive combination, and there's only 3 trim levels as well. So dead easy to choose your ideal car. Though, do you know what, to help you out anyway, I have gone and picked my ideal Honda HR-V trim. In fact, I'm specking the car now. Specking it. 3 car wow, specs. Let's see what the offer is. Actually, I've done this already before. If you click on the pop-out banner up there and find the link in the description, you'll see what my favourite trim level of the Honda HR-V is and my favourite paint scheme as well. Go check it out and see what the saving is at the same time. Oh, and now you can't just buy cars through CarWow, you can actually sell your current car as well. And our dealers will bid on your car to make sure you get a good price for it, and it's just so easy to do. So check that out. And once again, if you want to do it at a later date, just simply Google Wow Me CarWow. Wow. Okay, let's see what this Honda HR-V is like to drive. Starting off with lower speeds and in town. So when you're just pootling along, then the car will figure out exactly what it should do, and it'll drive in electric power for as much as it possibly can. It's silent, it's effortless, it's easy. And the steering's nice and light, which is good for manoeuvring in town. And the turning circle's okay, it's 11.3 metres. Its competitors like a Peugeot 2008 and a Skoda Kamiq do have tighter turning circles, but it's fine. Fine, like you see. The brakes, they feel quite natural. Sometimes in hybrids, they can feel a little bit grabby at times, but not this one. And of course, when you're braking, you'll see from the energy flow meter there that we're putting some energy back into the battery. Oh, do you notice that? That was the engine cutting in. Now, you do not feel the engine cut in at all. You really don't, but you hear it. Because it's not the smoothest engine, it's a little bit coarse. And that brings on to the suspension. You see, it's really very comfy, nice over bumps, but you do hear the suspension. So I'm just going to go over these bumps up here, and you'll hear it go, here we go, here's some bumps. Yeah? So it deals with them well, it's just quite noisy. Then there's another thing that's noisy. So once you get out of town, or say if you're in town, you suddenly need to like nip through some lights or something, so you've got to put your foot down, this happens. The engine just makes a noise like the clutch is slipping, and it really complains, and it's quite noisy, that is. That's a real shame. Oh, it's just like puts you off from putting your foot down. No, the handling is actually pretty decent, so it goes around corners well enough. I wouldn't call it sporty, but then these cars aren't supposed to be. But it does the job. But once again, you're never gonna have any fun, because as soon as you think, oh, I'm gonna accelerate out this corner, there, it just holds the revs. It does change gear, well, simulate changing gear, because it's not really changing gear, it just simulates it, because it doesn't have actual step gears, but oh, it's all confusing. Automatic gearbox is generally easy to live with, apart from the fact of it just makes all that noise. I keep on going about the noise. Noise, noise, noise. Really, that's the only thing that lets this car down. Oh, and the fact that if you go for an SUV, you probably want a big windscreen, and the windscreen is actually smaller than you imagine. Still, you've got some big door mirrors, so you get a good view out of those, and the view out the back window is pretty good as well. So all round visibility is pretty decent in this car, and it's overall a nice thing to drive. Do you know what though? I guess the trade-off for that noisy CVT system is the fact that this is an economical car. Honda says it will do 67 miles per gallon. I'm averaging 53. Though I reckon that if I was more careful with my driving and wasn't busy trying to demonstrate how noisy the gearbox and engine combination is, I'd have done better than that. But still, 53 miles per gallon is pretty good. Honda says this HR-V will do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.8 seconds and the standing quarter mile in 13.3. Pretty impressive, but we'll see exactly what it does with my specialist timing gear here. So I'm just whack it into sport mode. Sport mode is engaged. Let's do this. Hold on the brake. Oh yeah, that's really fast pickup. That engine's really singing. 0 to 60, 8.67 seconds. Bit slower than what they claim. And the quarter mile, 16.82 seconds. Actually, I was lying obviously with those times. Honda says this thing will do 0 to 60 in 10.7 seconds, but it's like 2 seconds quicker than they said. 8.67 seconds is quick for this kind of car. I remember hot hatches back in the 80s would be doing well to do that. So then what's my final verdict on the Honda HR-V? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the HR-V. Okay, so it's not the most practical car in its class, and it can be a bit noisy when you put your foot down, but overall it's a great looking thing that's nice to drive. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of the HR-V in the comments below. Would that gearbox put you off it? Click on those windows there for some more videos, and on that box there to go to CarWow to see how much money you can save on your next car.